Into the Radius is Stalker in VR. I know, I'm boldly going where 30 other YouTubers have gone before, but it's true. Into the Radius is a scary game, but not in the way other games are scary. There's no jump scares, and the enemies aren't even that scary. What makes it scary is your brain. As they say, the scariest monster is the one your mind creates. Into the Radius's ability to be organically scary is one of the reasons it's one of my favorite games. Another is Into the Radius's amazing atmosphere. With the entire map not being particularly well lit, combined with the monotone grayness of everything, creates a feeling of dread and fear that's hidden deep in our brains. It's like a liminal space. At first glance, it's normal, but something just seems off. There's no living plants, and there seems to be a black hole in the sky. I know where you come from, but that's not normal where I come from. In theory, Into the Radius is a boring game. Most of the missions are fetch quests. Go to a place and get the blank. But Into the Radius uses its atmosphere to make up for its otherwise stale missions. In Into the Radius, you'll go to get an artifact after 15 minutes of prep, cleaning your guns, planning the best route, and making sure you have the right equipment for the mission. You go out confident in your ability to follow the beeps of your detector. Then you end up running home because you made a slight miscalculation. Then you adjust for that, then you do it again. Sometimes you realize you just don't have enough stuff to complete a mission, meaning you need more money. And how do you get that money? Side missions. A good indicator that a game is good is if you want to complete every side mission before doing anything in the main storyline. And Into the Radius does this perfectly. With the atmosphere, it's just immaculate. But you can't up your security level by doing side missions. You have to do top priority missions to unlock the good stuff, so you don't ever feel overpowered throughout the game. With that being said, side missions will be your primary source of money, so you'll have to do them. You have quite a few different options, from Radius Treasures to Warren's Legacy. They're all fun except for paparazzi missions. If you know, you know. My favorite missions are the cleanup missions and Banshee Hunt missions because they're different. Cleanup missions require you to kill everything in a certain area, and Banshee Hunt missions require you to find the Cry artifact, which, as the name implies, makes a lot of noise, which attracts every enemy in render distance, which adds an extra level of chaos for you having to fight off every enemy before you get home. The guns in this game feel amazing. From loading a mag to shooting the gun, it all feels so good. And speaking of guns, you have a lot of options, from AKs to ARs. If you want it, they have it. And every gun has unique stats for accuracy, damage, bullet drop, and more. Not enough depth? Well, there are as many attachments as guns, so have fun. Still not enough? How about ammo? Full metal jacket, subsonic, cheap surplus, plus P, and AP, each useful in their own regard, but each completely different from the other. And if you still don't think that's enough, there's a weapon degradation system. Let it go too low, and you won't be able to fix it yourself. Speaking of things you can't repair yourself, suppressors, vital to your survival, but expensive to use, which makes you think, is this worth it every time you pull out your gun, unless you have a gun with an integrated suppressor. If you have the $45, then I highly recommend picking up the game for yourself. It's worth the money, especially if you grab a DVL.